So let's start to get into the joints a little bit. So place your feet a little wider than your hips, and start to turn your shin bones around your ankles. And your hips are going to move with that, right? So let them. But do focus on the feeling and the proprioception that happens as you move that in that specific way. And then go the other direction. So circling around and finding the spaces between the little spaces between the joints, like, between the two shin bones and between where the shins come into the ankles, and then the little teeny bones in your feet. Okay, now center your feet and start to bend your knees and straighten. I hadn't turned my music up. So we're gonna actually, on second thought, let's take a little bounce. And then let the bounce move up through the body. Yeah, nice. And then start to shift from one leg to the other, but it won't be quite a big movement. Your feet will stay on the ground. Yeah. Now start to grab the scapula into your back so it brings your torso right over your hips. And then start to add a little extra tap. So now one heel comes off the ground, maybe the whole foot, and you tap. And then add a twist. So we just spent a little time propriocepting the ball and socket joint of the ankle bone, right? So now as you start to move in a bigger way, see if you can get really easy in that joint by pushing off the ground, right? So the momentum of the push turns the bones, right? Get real light in the way that you're kind of approaching it, maybe even just in the way it feels in your mind's eye, in your heart. And then let your arms start to swing, add a deeper twist. And then let's hold right in the center again, and then take it back to the bounce. And you can add a little heel tap if you like. Nice. Now notice, like I'm noticing my heel taps are really heavy today, because I'm in transition still. So you can, if that's the case for you, lighten things up a little bit. And then if there's even a little extra little bounce, lightly. Good. And then let's come back to stand and circle into the hips now. And now circle in the hips with straight legs. And see if you can feel and sort of propriocept again from the arches of your feet up through the movement of the hips. And what's happening in the bones. What's turning. Go the other direction. This is also, all great preparation for opening up IT bands and having more mobility through the legs. Good. Take your left foot, step it underneath you, kick your right leg out in front of you, and then circle the ankle. So pick up the leg as high as you like. Circle the ankle, the toes, go the other direction. Really good, good. And then you're going to kick your leg straight and then bend your knee and kick. And you can put your hands on your hips, you can have your arms out to the sides, whichever feels good. So kicking forward and nice. Now, I would say even pull the toes back more. Use the wall if you need to. It's perfect. Good. 2 more. And 1 more. And then cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Take a forward fold here. Bend your knees as much as you have to. To put your hands on the ground. We won't stay long for this first one. Round yourself slowly up to stand. And then shake out that right leg. Shake it out. You can take your arms out to the sides or any arm variation that will help you balance. Good, shake. Shake, 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 shake. A little harder. And then maybe bend the standing leg. Shake that right leg more. Good. Shake it even harder. Yeah, you can move it around in space if you want. Nice. Good. Keep shaking. mind is saying, how long am I staying here? That's normal. Keep shaking it. Now, as you shake, see if you can feel the sort of the thread or the current of energy from your hip out through the ankle, into all through the joints. So it's weaving in and out and helping you create space. Keep shaking that leg. I know. Yeah. It's intense. Let's stay for 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then step your right foot down and hug your left knee into your chest. And use all that energy that you just created in your right leg to now hold you. A nice strong stance in that right leg. Really nice. Beautiful. Good. All right, release the foot. And then let's go back to our twist. Before we take the second side. Notice the grabbing of your scapula. Notice the turning of your ribs. And the sort of the propulsion, right? So the push of the feet off the ground to turn you. Your gaze might turn. You might need to look forward, just depending on you. Notice your posture. Are you tilted forward? Are you nice and upright in this twist? Good. Find the ease and the lightness. Good. Awesome. 10 more. 9. Twist a little more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step your right foot underneath you. Kick your left leg out in front of you and point and flex and circle the foot. Any variation of your arms, whatever helps you balance. Nice. Yeah, and reverse the circling at any point. Great. Terrific. Now you're going to bring the knee in. Yep, flex the foot and straighten the leg. Bend and straighten. And bend and straighten. And bend and straighten. And bend and straighten. Yeah, and you know what, I realized that on the first side, it was more like a hiking up of the knee, so let's keep going with that. It wasn't even that long ago. Good, keep bending and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend, now cross your left thigh over your right thigh. Fold into your legs, hinging at the hips, taking your hands to the ground. And try to, if you can, line up the pinky toe edges of your feet. You can check in with your neck, make sure you're not holding extra tension there. And then round yourself slowly up to stand. Stretch your left leg out to the side and begin to that long shake. It's about a minute, I think. So you may vary the intensity of the shake, but you do want to keep it going. Keep it consistent, right? And if you feel like you have extra energy to burn and there's places of congestion in your body, send it out through your leg. Send it out through the shake. And notice, the shake kind of undoes you, and then it actually gives you an opportunity to shake yourself back into place too, right? So the integration can happen from the shake. You get rid of what you don't need, and then you hold on to what's important. Woo! Standing leg is strong, holding us up. Good. Keep shaking a little bit harder for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand on your left leg, bring your right knee up into your chest. Woo! Stand up a little taller maybe, and hold yourself upright. Take a big breath in, and release the leg out. Release it down. Good, let's go into figure eights in the hips. So let's actually root the feet into the ground here. And as you're figure eighting your hips, notice where the sense of grounding is nice and clear from your feet up the legs. And then let's play with music. So play with the rhythm, a little faster, maybe bigger. Make as many now little figure eights within the figure eight, like a Russian doll, right? Figure eight, figure eight, figure eight. And then expand it out. And then let's make big circles. So now the pelvis is leading the way. Leading with the pelvis. Watch how the rest of the body follows. Notice any of the creakiness of your joints opening up. Go the other direction, circling around. Yeah, good. Nice straight legs will show you a different way of moving the pelvis. And maybe help you feel the rooting of your feet. Now let's bend the knees. And alternate. Circling right and left. Maybe it's one, maybe it's three in the same direction. And move around your space now. Big circles in the pelvis. They don't have to be full. You can start to do half circles, but do make big curves. Good, yeah, nice, yeah. And then let the rest of the body follow from the circling, right? So the curve isn't only relegated to one spot. Now, add the arms, add the ribs. Full, big, generous curves. Curves give us access to our creativity, right? So we often create not so much in a straight line, not so much in that step by step, but more from the expansiveness. Nice, good. Now more curves, smaller. Yeah, good. Now slower, less curves, much bigger. Let it be like an internal massage, oiling up the joints. Beautiful. Let's raise the arms and keep them up in the air. And notice the curves you can make in the upper arms. But don't lose the lower body. There's a lot going on now. Keep the arms up. Now take big steps to move yourself around the space. Big giant steps. Don't worry about how it looks. Just let it be full and generous like your curves. Yes. And make the curves, imagine they're decorating the space. So make them in a way that you want it to look around you. If there was paint splashing out through your fingertips or Sharpies on your hands. Good, nice. Let's take it into a jog now. I'm going to take a double time just because the music's on the slower side. Let it be light, let it be easy. Let's move up and down on our mats. Move some energy. So the front space in our body represents our potential, our future, what's ahead, right? The back space represents the past, our memory. Right in the middle is right now. So let's alternate front and back, focusing on the forward motion, focusing on the back, maybe even catch yourself as you get to the front of your mat, catch yourself as you get to the back. Now make it even faster, little teeny tiny steps. Woo! Even quicker, piece of cake, really full and easy at the same time, right? So full effort, but easy sensibility, let's say. Good, keep going, keep going, keep going. Faster, 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 faster. Good, and then now slow it down. And noticing the slowing down, how you feel the gravity, right? You feel the sort of more downward flow of energy. Yeah, nice. Let's quicken it up again. Quick, 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 nice. Quick, 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 quick. Good, awesome. Keep going. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now slow for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. hands. Light it a little lighter. Maybe you can feel your hips sway and sass. Notice spots in the music you can respond to. Don't forget about your arms. They can make curves too. Beautiful. Now back to a form. Let's go to a jack. If you need to modify the jack, you keep it on the down low, on the low impact. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, shake, shake. Everything. Arms, hips, ribs. 5, 4, 3, back to the jack. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Let's take it to the shake. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Back to the jack. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Back to the shake for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now 8. Go 8. Jack. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Shake for 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Good. 3. Nice. 2. 6 jacks. Go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 6 shakes. Shakes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now 4 jacks. Go. 4, 3, 2. 4 shakes. Go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now 2 jacks. 1, 2. Shake. We'll hold here. 2 jacks. Shake. 2 jacks. Shake for 2. One more time. Jack and shake. Good. And then let's just take a walk around the space. Grab some water if you like. Notice your ankle bones. Notice as your feet strike the ground. Feel into the ball movement, right? The ball and socket. Good. Nice. Let's do a little work with the legs now. So, come to hands and knees. Nice and simple. You can be hands and knees, or you could come onto your elbows. I'm gonna just move to the diagonal so you can see this. It's a kick up in the air and back, and we alternate right and left. So we've got right foot kicks up high and lower, left, lower, and then we'll find the beat. And you may be synced up a little different than me. Just stay on the 1 and the 2, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That was such good technical musical counting, not at all. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So we kick. It's a 2 count kick. It's up for 1 and down for 1. And up for 1 and down. And up. And as you move into this sequence, or let's say just a simple kriya or movement, I'd love for you to keep your attention on the center line. So from the center line, center of the crown of the head, down through the middle of your brain, down the middle of your palate, drop that line down the middle of the throat, middle of the chest, the heart, lungs, between the lungs really, down into the center line, into the solar plexus, just behind the front ribs, just behind the navel. Now drop down a little more. Keep that line dropping into the center of the pelvis, center of the pelvic floor, and then just keep tracing that line as you move here. We're here a little longer, so keep going and keep your focus on what's center for you, right? Rather than focusing on what's wobbling or what doesn't feel strong. Keep keep your focus on center, and that'll keep reorienting you in the movement. We're going to go 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I'm on my elbows. If you're also on your elbows, come to your hands. And this is the next movement. Swing, swing, swing. So one knee, then the other. It's pretty fast. So you want to start to bring more energy into your hands so you can engage your core muscles that are just underneath your ribs, the transversus abdominis. And you'll want to be light on that transition, right? So when the knee comes down, you don't want it to jam on the ground. You want to be light there so that there's no impact on the joints. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, I'm slowing down, 6, here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Shake out your hips, come into a down dog, shake them out, shake out your hips and down dog, and then bring an extra bounce to your legs. So the knees will be bent, and then I want you to push the ground away with your hands and the balls of your feet. Push, 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 like you're having a tantrum, like you're saying, it needs to be a different way. So let's do it. Let's change something. Let's change something through the movement, through the heat that you're building. Now, if you want to take little hops off your feet, or even off your hands, play a little bit. So push the ground away, push the ground away, push the ground away, push the ground away. Feet might come off the ground. You might just stay with the legs if it doesn't feel comfortable for your wrists to push the hands off the ground. You decide. And then let's jump the feet to the hands or step them. Shake your way up. So let's take a moment to layer some of the tasks we've been doing. So pushing off the feet, finding curves, bounce. Good. The internal shake. So maybe the shake doesn't translate out through the limbs, but you can feel it inside. Good. Now let's take it into some movement. So starting with just a tap forward with one foot then the other, like a prance. Now add a swing of the hips, make it a little sassy, like we are actually in a dance club, which might happen sometime in the future. When it does, we're going. Good. Now more of a twist. So now feet, heels, turn at the same time. Almost like you're skiing. Good. Light on the feet. We stay for 10 more. 9, 8, 7. This is feeling a little Zumba-ish, isn't it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, widen the feet. Make fists with your hands. Engage your scapula, and then shift from side to side. And because it's fast, the movement will stay small. But it can still have a pow to it, a punch. That's next. Good. So we punch, punch. Let's punch with just the left arm. Punch, 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 punch. Keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now right arm. Go punch. Nice. Be clear, right? So have a clear spot that you're extending out towards. We got 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, spontaneous punches. Right and then left. You can change your feet if you need to bring them a little closer together. I'm not much of a boxer, but it does feel good to just punch away any obstacles. Right? You can double and triple it up. You can alternate. Start to dodge your opponent's punches, your imaginary opponent's punches. Guard yourself, right? So it's important to kind of not always be throwing the punches. A little defensive and then more offensive. Good, let's go for 10. Punch it, give it all you got. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float. So let's go back to this idea that we can move all of the ball and socket joints. Take it slowly. Find the delicacy in your hands. Explore both the back space, what you've left behind, and what's in front of you. Find your hips. Let them lead the way. Find the rotations. Let them lead the way. Rotations in ribs, rotations in arms, rotations in the head and neck. Let it be luxurious. You're giving yourself your own massage here. Nice. Good. And then let's drop into the legs. Take a wide stance chair pose. But I love it, keep the sensibility of the curves. So you're easy but in the upper body, and you're easy in the flow, and you can feel it, but you're getting into density at the same time. Right, good, okay. Now, still everything. And see if you can still feel the echo of all that flow. Yes, we're gonna twist, palms press, and I'm keeping your feet wide on purpose. So I want you to cross your left elbow all the way to the outside of your right leg. And then softly come back through center and maybe find the flow in between. Right, so we've done this movement in yoga. It's a twisted chair pose, or Parivrtta Utkatasana. Can get really rigid in that movement. So right now, let's be as easeful as we can as we transition, as we meet the shape, and then as we flow out of the shape. Right, so the yoga then keeps its form, but it doesn't lose its flow. It doesn't lose its energy. If you want to grab your core muscles as you twist, just to give it more impact, you can do that. Keep going, just another couple rounds, right and left. Again, not getting rigid in the flow or in the movement. Yeah, so nice. Keep the spine long, keep the curves happening. You might even add some curves just to know where you are. The curves help me know where I am. And then we're gonna, on this last one, let's fold over the legs. So as promised, we're gonna do some hanging and so opening up the back line and opening the front line. So starting with the simple hang. Feet are still a little bit wider than your hips. Not too wide, but just so you've got enough space there. And then you're gonna step your right foot back to a lunge. You'll tap your right knee down and look up. Find the curve in the upper body, the other upper chest. Yeah, good. Pick up the hips, straighten out the front leg, and then spring off the back leg. We're going to repeat this, so if you're just getting into it now, that's fine. Step your left foot back, tap your knee down, look up. And I'm not going to count this or have us on the same rhythm necessarily, just so you can explore and take your time. So the components are the step back, the lowering of the knee, the opening of the chest and the throat and the eyes, the picking up of the hips to straighten out the front leg, and then a spring off the back leg to step forward. And that's it, that's the movement. Stepping back, looking up, picking hips up, and pushing off the ground. Keep going. So this can be as deep as you like it, right? So you can go as far into your range of motion as you like. You can also stay light with it and move a little faster if you're feeling a little more energetic, or you feel like there's just more of that jagged energy you want to release. Find your breath here too. Let's stay for about 20 more seconds. That might be about 2 to 4 more rounds, depending on how fast you're going. But definitely use this time to explore. It's your time. And then as you get to your last one in the next moment or so, let's come to a downward facing dog. Great. Okay, now in down dog, spread your fingers as wide as you can and heavy into your thumbs and your index fingers. And once you've found the inner line there, wrap your triceps to move them to turn back. And then hips are light up in the air. Let's do a little calf stretch here. So bend your left knee rather, and reach your right heel towards the ground. Now suck your belly in off your pelvis, but keep reaching your right heel towards the ground. So you're like pulling the front line away from the back line. So navel lifts up and you're light in the front, but then the back gets real long. And then switch sides. Bend your right knee and reach your left heel towards the ground. So the gastrocnemius muscle and the calf, right at the calf attachment to the back of the knee. You get right into those little spots in there. Yeah, I mean there's one spot that's a major point that if you're tight in that muscle might feel sore if you were to press on it. And then let's do this. Lift your left heel, swivel both heels to the right. And you're going to pick up your right heel, but keep the ball of your right foot on the ground. Now push the ground away with your hands as your left outer hip pulls back. And it's from the outer hip down the IT band, down into the calf muscle, outside calf muscle that may be opening for you. Push the ground away, breathe. And then lift your heels, swivel them to the left. And root the outer right heel down as the left knee bends, and you can really kind of find the line between the hands rooting into the mat. There's a bunch of lines, but sort of that flow from the hands pressing into the ground, up through the body, out through the outer right hip. Now push the right outer hip more behind you, so it's pulling back in space. And then bring the heels back through center. Come on out to a plank pose. And as you're in your plank, see if you can pull the hands towards each other isometrically. Yeah, good. Bend your knees and put them on the ground, and then sit back to a tucked-toed child's pose. So you open the bottoms of the feet. Tighten your fingertips. Let the forehead come to the ground. And then let's come forward to all fours and back to down dog. And notice how your calves feel now in this down dog as you reach both calves to the ground. Lift your heels high, bend your knees, step or float to the top of your neck. Come up halfway, fold forward over your legs, and then round yourself slowly up to stand. So let's go into some movement. So just stepping out to the side, this is the first Call it level 1 maybe. You can add a little groove to it. Yeah, you can face either way. Anyway, you can face always. And then as you start to get accustomed to the movement, you can add a little hop to it, a little lift, a little lightness. It's hard to do this slow, but see if you can gather up your energy, and then we'll take it faster. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 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 Or you can keep going. That's okay. If you feel you want to keep going without the pause, that was just there for a little moment of rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I know, it's just the two of us, so I'm like, let's just do our own thing. Here we go. Good. You can add the pause when you feel like it. How about that? And then you can just keep going when you feel like it. Let's take it down lower. Pause when you want. Nice. And then play with rhythm. Maybe you just kick out to the side and add a little jump and a little pause when you feel like it. That's me getting spontaneous. You can pause each time. Maybe take a snapshot. Have some fun. Good. And then take it into your own little groove. You can prance, you can jog, you can take it side to side. Yeah. Just have some fun with it. Finding your groove. Woo! Nice. Let's take it into a walk around your space. And as you're moving around the space here now, notice how the hips sway with from the strike of your heel, from the reach of your foot, from the swing of your leg. Nice. Let's come to the top of the mat. Step your right foot back, come into Warrior One. So in Warrior One, your front knee, that's your left knee, is bent. Your back heel is angled back, so we get into that muscle we just opened a moment ago. And then the arms can extend up. But like we did in our chair, let's find some lightness through the upper body and density in the lower body. We're just going to hold this just for a moment. Maybe even close your eyes. Find the spiral in the back leg. Find the opening through the back ribs. And notice the currents of energy that flow through your skin, around your joints, into your muscles. Now release your hands behind you and interlace them. And then we're going to turn towards the back leg and you'll take Devotional Warrior. So you're going to turn your feet and dip your right shoulder inside your right knee. Reach your knuckles high. Swing your right hip underneath you so you don't kind of pull it out to the side too much. Hug your shoulders towards each other. Pull the knuckles higher. Now left hand comes to the ground. Flip your left heel and reach your right arm up, twist. So you're going to lunging twist. Left hand down, right arm high. Keep opening through the upper body. Keep pulling your right hip back. Open, open, open. And then right hand comes down. Quarter turn to your left, parallel your feet. Wide angle. Maybe you take your head to the ground. Maybe you walk your hands through to the other side. And breathe in for 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Hands come underneath shoulders, come up halfway. Turn towards the front of your mat. Now you'll lift your right leg high, and we'll do what some people will call Jiva squats. You'll take your right knee outside your left ankle, and then you'll bring the leg back up to what would be a standing split. We'll do 10 of these. Here we go. 10, 9. So I'm lowering down to a squat, almost to the ground, but not quite. So the right shin touches down, the left knee bends, the right leg shoots high. Yeah, there you go. Good. Keep going. 4 more. 3 more. 2. And 1. And then step back to a high lunge. Arms reach up. Right leg goes back, left leg is forward. Open twist to your left, right arm forward, left arm back. Back leg can be bent or straightened. Yep, and you're turning towards the bent knee. Good. Warrior 2. Peaceful warrior, lift up and back. Extended side angle, left elbow to left knee, right arm over your ear. Good, let's stay here. So rather than hanging in your left side, see if you can extend your left side body long, pushing your right heel into the ground, reaching through your right fingertips, turning your right palm down. Nice. Good, 1 more breath. And then put your hands on the ground, around your left foot, so towards the front of your mat. Step your right ankle behind your left ankle, and let's hold here in a crossed ankle T-band stretch. Maybe you take your hands to each leg, and you hold the ankles here. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, lift your sitting bones higher. Breathe out, 1 last breath. Breathe in, and breathe out. Release your hands and round yourself up to stand. Good. Uncross your legs, step your left foot back. So we're going to go into Warrior 1. Right knee's bent, left toes turn out to the side, arms extend. And close your eyes if it feels okay for you. You might want to stabilize first and then close the eyes, or find your way in. Now breathe wide. Breathe into the side ribs. Don't worry too much about being rigid in the hips and turning them, cranking them forward. Let them float, actually. Now interlace your hands behind your back. Other thumb on top. You'll turn towards the back leg, devotional warrior. Left knee bends. Left shoulder inside left knee. Knuckles reach high. Keep breathing, swinging your left hip underneath you. Let your jaw be soft. And now right hand comes to the ground. Flip your right heel. You'll turn your body into your left leg, twisting in the lunge. Maybe you can feel the curves in your body, even though you're in a still shape here. And let's take a quarter turn to the right, paralleling your feet. And here on this side, we'll take a wave. So you'll round up about halfway, and then extend the spine forward. So we're sort of in a halfway position, taking cat and cow. So cat spine, tailbone comes underneath you. Cow spine, look forward. Cat spine, round and look inward. Cow spine, extending, extending, extending. And last one, cat. And cow. Turn towards the front leg. Right toes turn forward. Lift your left leg high. Stretch it all the way up. So it's a standing split, and then you're going to go into a Jiva squat. Left knee comes outside right ankle, and then you'll lift the leg back up again. About 10 of these. Bending and straightening, lowering almost to the ground, and then rising back up. And maybe the kick back up is a little higher each time, right? And you don't have to be too rigid about that left hip opening up. You could just extend it and see how it feels good, what opens for you. Reaching high and lowering the shin, and reaching up and lowering the shin, and again. And I didn't keep count, but we've got about 2 more. Lifting and lowering and lifting and lowering. And then on this last lift, stretch it as high as you can, and then cross your left ankle behind your right ankle, and we'll take the forward fold with crossed ankles. Maybe you take your hands to your ankles or your shins, their respective ones. It actually won't be your respective ones, it'll be the opposite ones. And breathe in the forward fold. And staying stable enough to hold the shape, but not so stable that you get rigid around it. Now release the pose, step your left foot all the way down your mat, high lunge now, rise up. And this will move through these shapes pretty quickly like we did on the other side. So arms reach high, yep, and then you'll, and then open twist to your right. And open up to the left, warrior 2. So the right arm is forward, yep, there you go. And then peaceful warrior, tilt behind you, or tilt towards the back. Extended side angle, right elbow to right knee, left arm over your ear, and we hold. And find all the curves and spirals, the even ball and socket joints, turning in the wrist, turning in the upper arm, turning in the ribs, rotating that right knee slightly out to the right, ankle bones are easy, pelvis is in a nice neutral position underneath you. And then go ahead and lower your hands to frame your right foot. Plank pose. I just want to do a little more strengthening for the back line here. So lower your right knee to the ground. We'll both open up the front and strengthen the back, just like we would do in a back bend. Lift your left arm high. So right knee's down and underneath the hips. Left leg is straight. You're going to pick up your left leg to hip height. And then move your left leg back in space and your left arm forward. So your left leg is like your tail behind you. Yeah, and you can feel the glute engage and the lower back muscles also work. And then look over your right shoulder and we'll pulse. So the leg pulses back and the arm pulses back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then a little bit more of a neutral position just to get your foot. So go ahead and grab the foot. And then kick your heel away from your seat. Open through your chest. Breathe. Nice. Without snapping your foot, lower the knee down to the ground. We'll do a little, some tricep work here. Step your knees back so they're not underneath your hips, so just slightly back. And then you'll bend your elbows to hover and pulse for 20. Here we go. 10. Well, I'll do it in 10s. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 10 more. Go 10, 9. Keep hugging your elbows towards each other. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten your arms, step your left knee underneath you. Right leg extends, right arm goes high. And then the right leg will lift up to hip height, right arm over your ear. Move your right leg back in space so you feel those muscles engage. And look down at your left hand and pulse for 10, 9, 8, good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab your right foot with your right hand, kick your heel away from your seat, open through the chest. Maybe you look down, maybe you look more forward. Go ahead and release the leg, release the foot. Come to all fours. This time around, let's take some work, do some work for the chest. So walk your knees back again. And we'll just do some simple chaturanga, modified chaturanga push-ups. You let me know if this is too much for your arms. So you're going to bend your elbows by the sides of your body and straighten and pull back and forward. And bend and straighten. So it's almost to child's pose, maybe even to child's pose for you, depending on your child's pose. Try if you can to not hang in your joints as you lower. So you meet the spot and then you come back up. It's a quick visit. And if you need to shift a little more forward in your upper body so you're not loading in your rotators, do that. Take 2 more. And 1 more. And then come to sit on your heels. Reach your hands behind you. So both opening for the chest and for the legs. Starting with the chest, hands go behind you. You'll pick up your chest, engaging your scapula, lifting up through your vision. And you might really sense that cow spine here. Big curve in the lumbar. Now look forward, so tip your chin back down again. Pick up your hips. So we'll call it a baby camel. Now lower your hips, bring your torso right over them, and hold and sit for a moment. But as you sit, see if you can sense or bring your attention to the lumbar area and the curve in your lumbar spine. But also you've got the curves and that verticality through the upper body, or through the spine rather. And they both can work together, so our creativity is aligned with our verticality. And then come to stand on your knees, camel pose. Just one last pose before we go to meditation or closing practice. Lifting up the chest. You can take hands to hips. You can also curl your toes under and reach for your heels. Or not, if you've got a deeper back bend. And breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And one more, breathe in and breathe out. Come on up. And come to sit. Let's just take an easy forward fold. So you'll have to swing your legs around. Bring your legs out nice and wide. A couple different variations here. So first variation is like a wide angle. You'll walk your hands inside your feet and tilt yourself forward. Just get back there. Nice long spine for this one. Yep, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And last one, breathe in and breathe out. And come on up to sit. Bring your left leg center and cross your right ankle over your left ankle. Forward fold here. Maybe you take your hands in an interlace underneath your feet. Try not to round too much in the upper body, but there will be some rounding depending on your body. Yeah, good. Breathe in and breathe out. And one last breath here. Breathe in and breathe out. And then switch legs. So the other leg on top. Left ankle over right. Hands can clasp around the foot or not. And just getting quieter, allowing yourself to open. And then rise up nice and slowly. And I'm not sure what your music is doing. I'm going to turn mine off. If you're good, you can leave it. And then we'll come to sit just for a few moments in meditation. If you'd rather lie down and rest, you can do that too. So as you drop in and integrate this practice now, notice the bones as they relate to each other. Notice the muscles, maybe in a lighter state than they were when you started. Stronger but lighter, not so dense. Perhaps you can feel more breath move in and out of the joints and in and out of the skin and around the muscles and through the fascia. Enlivening your blood flow, fortifying your body, hydrating you. Perhaps you're aware of a new calm, a deeper sense of you. And perhaps there's a clarity about the way you're sitting right now, or in whatever shape you're in. Let's bring the hands together in prayer and we'll chant the sound of Om one time to close. Take a deep breath in. Om. Thank you for sharing your light. Thank you for your presence. Namaste.